Mortal Engines. Some would argue it's nothing but a paint-by-numbers, cut-and-paste epic fantasy. I would call it an unused Doctor Who plot. But you know what it should never be called? Boring. Because honestly, I found it more engaging and entertaining than Into the Spider-Verse. And that's saying something because I'm a Spider fan, and I know nothing of Mortal Engines. So, bravo Mortal Engines. Let's start with the story. Post-apocalyptic Earth, people run around in giant mobile cities, and the cities eat each other, basically. It's pretty straightforward, but you have to dig deeper than just that in order to get the whole scope of things. Let's start with the... I keep saying let's start with, and yet... Oh, never mind. Let's start with the effects. Wow. Even though I know these cities can't possibly exist in any reality, they are so heavy. They have weight to them. Their inner workings and just the way they move and function and look, there's just enough reality in this whole world to make me believe the fantasy. And the best part is these vehicles. I don't want to spoil it, but let's just say the vehicles are so awesome they need to be in a video game. Actually, I think they might have a similar video game out there already. I'm not sure. Next, we have the cast. Hugo Weaving. Good as a hero, better as a villain. He never fails to deliver a good villain. And this movie is no different. The male and female leads are pretty standard for a story like this. You can see their archetypes, but I still found them more engaging than some of the spider characters in the Spider-Verse movie. The side heroes, also a very familiar motley crew of rebel scum, which I found just brilliant. The side villains, well, really there was just Hugo Weaving, so thankfully he could carry the whole show. The side neutrals, I would say, in both the hero camp and the villain camp, I found them to be very human. There was a clear class divide in the various peoples of the city and the outside world, and even the ones inside the city. There was classism within classism, and it felt kind of too real in a good way. Let's see, what else? Visually, I probably already mentioned visuals, but what the heck, let's mention them again. Visually, everything was pure Peter Jackson. I mean, this might have been an unused Doctor Who plot, but you could tell old Pete Jackson really put his Middle-earth into it. And yet it was Earth. Oh, there was also the subtle bits. I had a trouble I had trouble telling what was CG and what was real, because a lot of the sets looked actually made. I mean, there were props in the areas. It made you feel like this was a lived-in environment. And I did enjoy the subtle references to modern culture, and one glaringly obvious reference, you'll see it when it comes up. And then there was the references to Greek myth. It's kind of wedged in there, but very noticeable once you see the pattern. I don't know if Mortal Engines is going to get another sequel, or is going to get a sequel. I was going to say another movie. But I'm glad this one came out. It might have been paint by numbers, cut and paste, whatever, but I'll take a paint by numbers over boring, rapid images. Because honestly, the Spider-Verse disappointed me. This film impressed me. I don't know, maybe I'm getting old, but that's all I have to say about that. This is Mr. J signing out and reminding you, when you visit London, remember, it's not going anywhere. So don't worry about falling over. And red skyships are awesome. You'll get what I mean when you see the movie.